You're using Vim to edit faster, but you're probably ignoring some of its best commands. Here are 12 Vim tricks you'll actually use. What Ctrl A and Ctrl X allow you to do is to either increment or decrement a number. So if we take a look at what happens once you press Ctrl X, you can see right here that this number right here gets decremented, and if I press Ctrl A, it gets incremented. But it doesn't stop there. If, for example, I was to go to this binary number, it can understand that we're dealing with a binary literal, and it increments it in a binary fashion. And it even works with hexadecimal numbers, where if I press Ctrl A right here, it will not go ahead and use the second decimal place, but rather understand that we're dealing with a hexadecimal number or value, and it will adjust on that. Now, these Vim motions that I'm about to show you are among the most useful on the list, because I use them a lot when I want to remove the insides of some kind of structure. So, for example, say I wanted to remove the insides of the parameter list. I'd press delete inside and then provide the characters we want to remove from inside. So that would be the parentheses. So I do the opening parentheses. You can see right here that worked like a charm. You can also do change inside to write something new, or yank inside to be able to paste it. You don't have to restrict yourself on the parentheses. You can also use that for the braces. But another thing you can do is you don't have to do the insides. You can also do around the braces. For that you do D around and then whatever character you wanted to apply that to. So DA brace, or DA that, or even with the brackets, DA and that, like, it works perfectly fine. Now, when working with bigger files that have a lot of lines of code, you can see yourself like moving up and down quite a lot. But it's also nice to have the current line in the center. So what you can do is you can press ZZ, and what this does is it places the current line in the center wherever you are. And this is also so crucial for me that I even remap the Ctrl U and Ctrl D commands to not just go down or up, but also center or be centered afterwards, as you can see right here. So the next thing we'll be talking about are Vim macros, and those are super useful because what they allow you to do is to store some kind of action or collection of actions that you just made in a register and re-refer to that register to re-execute the action you just recorded. So you start recording a macro by pressing Q, and then you have to provide a register name. So let's use the Q register for that. So now we're starting to record in the Q register a new macro. So our macro, what it will do is it will press E to go to the end of the word. It will add the fruit word and then go back at the beginning of the line and down one line. And we stop recording a macro by pressing Q. So we start by pressing Q and then a register name, and we stop recording by pressing Q. Now to re-execute a certain macro that we just saved in the Q register, we say add, and now we have to provide the register name, which is Q in our case. And the cool thing about this is because Vim allows you to say, for example, 10J to go down 10 lines, you can also do to add Q to execute that macro twice. Now, you might think that this is very trivial and it doesn't have that many implications, but I'll give you a simple example of why this is so powerful. So let's say, for example, we wanted to make a function for each of these enumerators that allows you to print it out. So what I do is I press QQ, yank until the end of the line, do void, print whatever comes here. We want to follow snake case, so we'll press tilde, we'll add the parameter list and the body, std cout, whatever we just gotten, a new line, std end line, and down 2 lines, and now we'll stop recording. And now if I press 3 add Q, I just created a function for each of them. Instead of me having to do that 3 more times, I saved it once and was able to re-execute it thrice. Now, one very niche Vim action is the double colon Vim action, because what this allows you to do is to execute some kind of command in your terminal and get the output into your current buffer, where your cursor is currently sitting at. For example, you can see right here, if I press date, we get the current date. But if I do double colon and then press or type date, we get this right here. So another thing I'm able to do, you can see right here, we've got macros.cpp. I can do : cat macros.cpp, and I get the entire content of this file pasted right here. Now say for example I was to use a lot of Vim commands that are quite complex. So I do : W to save, or I don't know, I'd use this to get the date, I'd use that to get the current uptime, I want to retrieve the tree structure, you get the idea. So now I've done all of these commands, but what if I want to go back to them and see the kind of history that I've just created? I can press Q and then : and right here you can see the entire history of my commands that I just executed. And this is also very useful if you have more complex commands that you don't want to rewrite every time and just refer back to them. Now another Vimotion that's very useful is the percentage sign, because what this does is it goes to the matching opening or closing bracket, brace, parentheses, whatever it is. So you can see right here, if I press percentage, it goes to the relative matching brace, bracket, and same goes for this. Or if you go to the if condition, you can see that works as well. And this is also very useful because you can combine that. You can press, for example, D and then percentage sign, and then it deletes that entire condition. You could also do DA parentheses, but I see myself using that a lot as well, or this. It's very extensible. You get the idea. You can also yank until the end, and then, for example, you got the entire contents right here. What I see a lot of Vim beginners doing wrong is spamming the H and J keys. So say for example we wanted to go to line 14, so this one right here. Instead of pressing 14J, what people do sometimes as beginners is they press J, and you can kind of see that decreases productivity. So what you should do is use those relative line numbers. You can set them using this command set and then a relative number, or unset them using no relative number, then it's back to normal. But usually I've just got that turned on by default because I use these relative numbers that much. Like I can't live without them. If I wanted to go here, I can just press 11 and J. If I wanted to go to the default constructor, I'm here in a second. Like it just takes looking at it instead of like you having to be like, oh, I have to spam it. Another very practical Vim action is the tilde key, because what this allows you to do is to capitalize or decapitalize a certain character or word depending on how its capitalization is looking right now. So if, for example, I was to press @ right here, you can see right here these characters will get capitalized, but if I press tilde once again here, they get decapitalized. Now you can also use visual mode and highlight an entire word, for example, and then do tilde, and you can see right here it just capitalized the entire word, and once again that is revertible with the tilde key. Vim also has a very good command that allows you to replace stuff, where you can press : %s, type in your regular expression that you're trying to replace. So for example, let's do dot for any character once again, and then enter. That, for example, would match anything that ends with enter and has 2 characters before that. And then you can have some kind of new location or new string for that. So let's do printer, wrongly spelled, and you can see these else substitutions were applied properly. You can even do that only on a certain region by highlighting that, pressing : and no percentage sign, only S, and do printer with maker or something, and you can see that worked fine as well. And I see myself using that a lot because I frequently have to replace stuff only at a certain area or certain location, and for that this command is quite useful. The Vim also has something called marks, and what they allow you to do is mark a certain location within your buffer, and then you can refer back to that mark to jump to that location. So you can see right here we've got a pretty long file with 161 lines. Now say for example I wanted to mark this initialize function. So what I can do is I can do mi, a small I, and then this void, this character right here, it's marked. And now I was to go here, work on this a bit, and now I want to go back to the initialize function. I do single quote I, and you can see right here I'm back at it. And I can do that for all these things. So say for example I want to make page entry with mm, and then I'm back here doing something, and then I can do m. And you can see right here, I'm now at the make page entry, now I'm at initialize, now there, you get the idea. And this even goes as far as being applicable across multiple files. So say for example, I wanted to mark the kernel main as the entry point, and I go to that location quite frequently. What I can do is M capital E is important right here, or the capitalization of the letter, to work across multiple files. And now I can go back to paging, work on it a bit, and apply it to main.cpp. Then I do once again single quote capital E, and now I'm here at the location I just saved. And that can be very useful if you have a big project, a lot of locations that you frequently have to jump to, and you just want to mark them and be able to refer back to them. Sort of like Vim macros storing that. Now this Vim trick isn't really that useful, but it's very, very cool. I just found out about it recently. So basically what you can do is in insert mode, you can press Ctrl R equal, and then for example some kind of mathematical expression, for example 10 times 10. And the result of that will be placed right here. And that's super cool. For example, especially in operating system development, say you wanted to refer to some kind of power of 2 that you don't know by heart, what you can do is you can press Ctrl R equal, and then even use a mathematical function, the power of 2 to the power of 16, for example. And here we get the result. And that can be quite useful sometimes.